Now, Charlotte Jacobs, another who bases pretty well most of the season here in Traverse City. 10-year-old Korbak van der Renge, horse that she rode on the Nations Cup here a few weeks ago. Great addition there of the Nations Cup, the sort of mini-series they had between Vancouver, Caledon, and here in Traverse City as well. Last week's Grand Prix winner here, that was with Instrumental. And a really effective finish just a few weeks ago, finishing top 4 in the Longines Hampton Classic Grand Prix. This horse this year now just had a great chance throughout the summer here to develop here. Now jumps some bigger tracks. Just as caught before. Again, not a big error. Just gives a little tap in that double. But it's just going to stay, well, with a little bit of time to add as well. Score of 6, 81.04 for Korbak van der Renge and Charlotte Jacobs. But horse that's just starting to really move into these 5 stars. Went to, as I say, the also to the Hampton Classic a few weeks ago. She was actually top 4 with Playboy in the Grand Prix, but she was also jumping this horse in the supporting classes too. Ryan Canan for the US now. Castlefield Dream, 14-year-old for the Glen Bay Farm. Rider's been an Irish Nations Cup rider before now. Finished top 10 in the Grand Prix here last week as the opening part of the Tournament of Championships, as the 3 weeks are referred to here in Traverse City. Cleanly through the triple combination. And it just goes to push on to make the distance down there and flicks the front bar of the Oxer. So another one on the 4. We saw Kent Farrington getting on the money on the 4. This is going to be a slower. It's actually probably going to pick up some time. And has actually picked up another fence as well on the 8. Time out of 80, so just a reminder of that. So puts them up to 11 there, 82.31 for Brian Canan. And Castle for Your Dream. Roberto Tarana, Desugtuf. Fabulous horse that's been a great partner for him as well. 17-year-old now by Colandro. From Pan Am Championships, finishing well there in 2023 through to Olympic Games. Has been right up there in some major Grand Prix. He's really just saw a couple of horses already this week as his next generation horses for Roberto, but this one's still top of the tree. little steadier at the vertical with the water tray underneath. Just took a nice bit of care at the plank. This has been a very, as I say, effective championship horse. Triple combination 160 on the way out of there. A little bit of encouragement there to get in. Then just has to bring them back to keep them off the front bar. Otherwise they were just travelling a bit too far through there. He did that very effectively. Really good. Two listening to each other very well. 78.89 and clear there for Roberto Taran and Desugtov to join the clear list. And gives us 4 now in terms of clears. Mario Delorier, Connor Swale, McLean Ward, and now Roberto Taran. Daniel Blumen just having a little look around. Daniel, who finished well here last year. He was here last year developing Corby VV very effectively. This is Hummer Z, 11-year-old for also for Abigail Wexner. This long-time owner. She was with BZ Madden as well. Daniel heading here after winning in August in the 5-star Grand Prix at Angelstone. And Hummer also won here as part of the 5-star week back here in August. Really just starting to move this partnership up a gear this year again. Jumped very well in some 5 stars towards the end of last year. Was previously with BZ Madden. She produced it through very nicely. And handing over the reins midway through last year. Now for the Harley side, 11-year-old. Good chance. Gets it right through the double, and time should be no issue. And I'll jump into the clear list. 75.68 clear there for Daniel Blumen and Hummer Z. Yep. We're off doing the derby up the banks. Daniel Blumen and Hummer Z adding to the clears. So Roberto Taran on the list too, as is McLean Ward, Connor Swale and Mario Delorier so far. Daniel Blumen also gives himself a shot at this class. Now Ashley Vogel, another who's based here throughout the summer months as well, with the Shane Sweetnam team. The 24-year-old. With Otis Blue, she's had a decent season here, including top 5 in the Maya Grand Prix here in July. It's a big jump in over the Longines Oxer. Just trying to balance up the pace through the triple combination. Still looking good so far. This is going to take a little bit of accuracy. And yeah, unfortunately, it was just getting ahead of themselves, trying to just bring the back, just losing a bit of the control towards the tail end. And so time as well will come into play. A couple for time, so total of 6 there for Ashley at 81.97 with Otis Blue. And like I said last week, very interested to see this pair out now. Carl Cook and Sydney Osby's a 10-year-old by Armitage boy, Foxy de la Roque. That was storming the wins as part of the Global Champions Tour back previously as a 9-year-old. Then moved into the ownership of Carl Cook, who was on the sidelines for a while, but is now into the latter part of this year. Recovered and ready to go, delighted to say. Now, again, strengthens Carl's very good string. He's also been over winning in Europe as well. And he's already put the likes of the Rome Grand Prix behind him. He actually heads onto a team for the Longines League of Nations next week in Saint-Tropez. Won already this year in the Rotterdam Grand Prix as part of that League of Nations as well. And then they followed up with the win in Falsterbo. Of course, Caracol de la Roque is just on the 4, just leans onto that back bar on the way out there. But this partnership started to build. It's been jumping some of the smaller tracks through 2 and 3 stars in California before heading here last week. Just really set to get them going. On the 8 there for Carl Cook and Foxy de la Roque, this time the former ride of Victor Bettendorf. So clear so far, reminder of those. 5 of them at the moment. Ought to be for Carl Cook this time, not just yet. I think it'll be very, very interesting to see them over the winter as well. So I think just one more to come before we take a short break. That should be Daniel Coyle to head down. Another of the riders who has already been a multi-World Cup winner here in the United States and up in Canada as well. Heads down with Calippo 57. The Canadian-owned ride, the 9-year-old by Casalco for Daniel. It's with the Attaché Stables, Ben Aslin and Dylan Monroe of Canada. Part of the team there up at Spruce Meadows. Then Daniel actually jumping this horse at Spruce, 2-star back in July. A couple of shows behind them now, including in Ottawa, where the 2-star there, now moving up another gear this week. Out of a mare by 4 edition for Daniel. Again, for him, it's Now some new faces on the string after what's been a fantastic run with horses like Legacy. Incredible has stepped up very well within his string. And again, terrific loyal support of Ariel Grange. He's been a World Cup winner in Canada before now. Thunderbird down in Palm Beach as well. Just clips the rail there. Like I say, it's a step up for this one really over these couple of weeks. Jumped also in Angel Stone into the 5-star supporting classes that week. Bringing them home on the 8. Going to be just squeaking under the time, I would think. Yep, 79.57. And they're completing on the 8 for Daniel. And so 13th place for the Irishman. And so we're just going to take a little breather. We've got at the moment the combinations qualifying for the jump off, 5 of those to date. Mario Delorier and Genial de Benneville, Consuelo Castellano, McLean Ward, here we go, McLean Ward High Star Hero, Roberto Terran and Desubtoff, and Daniel Blumen with Hummer Z as the clears at the halfway stage. Could we double it up to 10? Could we go more? Who knows? And we'll see. This is all part of the North American League, kicking off the Longines FEI Jumping World Cup season. And here in Traverse City, the opening stage of what will take us into some very exciting competitions to come up throughout the winter months. Although the good thing is, here in the United States, many of those will be taking place still outside, hopefully in glorious sunshine and some great spots, but also some big indoors as well, the likes of Washington as well, to come up in the coming months. But the first to be ticked off the list here in Michigan, halfway there in our Grand Prix qualifier, and 5 already with the golden ticket into the jump-off. Back in a few minutes. Well, welcome back. Back underway, and it is on to Hilary Scott, highly experienced rider with a highly experienced horse. This is the 18-year-old now, Oaks Milky Way. They're homebred by, owned by Mum Alice Cameron from the Oaks Sport Horses, which is themselves. And this is the Australian bred mare by Clearway for Hilary that's taken her through to championship level. And been her most effective partner, one might say, through her career. Spent time based in Europe, now competing out here in the US. She's been one that's been taking in some of the biggest tours around the world in her career. This was her Olympic ride actually in Paris last year. World Championship 2 in 2022. It's been out in Canada as well with this horse on the giant lawns of Spruce Meadows. Just onto an early 4 for them as well. 4 in the money at the moment with Charlotte Murray, actually our opening rider, with a really nice round together, really tidy round for Charlotte in 6th place at the moment on 4 faults 78.99. 8 faults is just in the money at the moment, but I think that will probably not remain. Just on 4 there for Hilary. And Oaks Milky Way inside the time, 78.94. 4 there for the Australian. Goes into 6th place at the moment, actually. So she will be the fastest of the 4s, just pushes Charlotte Murray off that fastest 4 spot. Katie Dinan out to the blue SCF. Has been top 5 in the American Gold Cup before now. She's actually been a World Cup winner on the Longines series as well, previously in Washington. Back to 2023 and also the National Horse Show. Built up a very good partnership with this grey that was the horse produced with Shane Sweetnam from the Spy Coast Farm. Again, having good confidence in the horse to really go at the big tracks. Whoa, wait, just starting to get a little bit onward bound down that line. She did very well to bring them back, get over the vertical. Coming home on the clear. Time should just about be okay. And so, yeah, 78.45. So putting in a 0 score, Katie Dinan. And out of the blue SCF, not too out of the blue. They're a good pairing that we've seen plenty of times now. And so she goes into the lineup. She's also a rider that's previously competed at the World Cup finals as well. Nick Gamboa now, the 24-year-old, represents Colombia. Ella Heineken in the Equine Sports Twilight. 9-year-old by Favorite Ask, the mare for the next up. Now can the Colombian pilot this one too, a clear. Should probably remind you that Katie Dinan was top 10 at the World Cup finals this year as well, without the blue SCF. But there's a new partnership together into this level. So early rail for Nick. And for him, it's a great opportunity for this week for this horse to get some very good mileage. Step it up, see what they've got. Just pushes on through two parts of the triple combination, unfortunately. And the tall vertical there doesn't quite work out for him. But I say, a very new ride for him was with Ricky Heineking previously. He's just taken the horse over this last week, competing for the first time in the FEI classes in that 3-star. So not quite to beat today. Total of 16, but 78.57. But again, you know, they're going to look at the good parts of that and work out. It's a horse with talent. It's just moving up the rungs of the ladder. Lacey Gilbertson now. Another who finds Traverse City a happy hunting ground and home for the summer. There's been top 3 in the 5 stars here before now. That American Gold Cup coming up next week as well, follows on from the Longines World Cup here as well. They've been 2 events that have been twinned and intertwined through their history. Various stages. Lacey with Lulu. Just an early 4 for her as well. Carlin van Vennehoff was the horse that was probably most effective with at this level up to now. Lulu has got a good turn of foot in some very good classes. You see, a couple of seasons ago was riding on the Nations Cup team for the US in Vancouver. Comes home on the 8. And so we'll finish on that. So leaves them on the 8 faults there, but yes, as they've been top 3 in the American Gold Cup here before now. That was back in 2022. Jacob Pope. Sherry Crawford's Highway FBH very easily produced a good clear here. Again, they've been a pair that have been on numerous Nations Cup now for Team USA. Head over to Europe for the likes of Denmark before now. Jacob, highly effective rider as well as also highly accomplished in the hunter ranks, but we rode this horse on the winning Nations Cup team here for the 3-star back in July. We've had a bit of a breather with this horse since then, after they finished second in a 3-star Grand Prix here as well in July 2. In fact, they've got a long string of top 5s against their name. Nice tidy skip through the triple combination. Good rollback. Would not be surprised to see this pair in the mix. Would be nice to see them going in for a shot at this class, and just has a reach there at the triple, and just puts them off their footing as well as they come down to that double. That was a shame. They were putting together a very, very good round otherwise. So he comes through it second time, no trouble at all, but just got off balance after the triple and not able to get them back ready. Unfortunately, he's going to make it look a bigger score at 25, but actually wasn't a bad round at all. That just that one error just then accumulates everything up with time 96.75 for Jacob Pope and Highway FBH. Maya Denis to go now of Mexico. Karine Chambon and our own, and Oven USA LLC's Luadam Quality, as you may suspect is by Luadam, is actually out of mare by OBOS Quality. So yes, see how they got to that final conclusion. And for this young Mexican rider, has been having a very good run here in Traverse City as well. And just starting to shift up into these bigger classes too. Again, only in a very early 20s, 21. Already been last year's silver medalist at the Youth Championships. Has the plank down, unfortunately. Coming on the 8 for the young Mexican rider so far. It's been a new partnership this year, and again, step up here. Gonna leave them with just a nudge of time as well to add there. 2 for time, 81.40. Total of 18 for Maya Denis and Luadam Quality. But both really learning their way through at this level. Stella Wasserman now, the next to the young riders, in fact a year younger at 20. Precious Dueza Hagen. And so now for Stella, with the mare by Corneta Belensky out of Casal mare. Very strong breeding for this then 10-year-old. Jump to the 2-star classes at the Hampton Classic. Second actually in the equivalent classes, but at the 2-star level, not the 5-star level. She's on this former Olivier Philippart's ride, has been a new one for her this year as well. First time the pair have gone into the 5-star classes, but again this is now moving it up to the 150, 155 level. Still coming clear at the moment. Just nicely gathered. Oh no. Back too much, unfortunately, coming into the double. I was looking at a really good round. Leaves them with 3 for time as well to go to a total of 11. Stella Wasserman and Precious to Issa Hagen there for the US rider. So in terms of additions to the clears in recent times, Katie Dynan without the blue SCF, like I say, top 10 at the Longines World Cup finals this year for that pair. Now Abdul Saeed and his own 10-year-old by Quicksilver Saint-Simeon out of a Hickston mare is Quaker Brimbel Z for the rider for Belgium. Heads back out here to the US, where he's also been very effective. Comes out for a number of the tours, sometimes out to Wellington as well. But also probably one of the most well-travelled. Has won World Cups out in the Middle East as well. One in Doha previously too, into the early part of this season. And of course all across Europe as well. 10-year-old getting a little bit more 5-star exposure this season. Just hacks down a nice even pace down to the plank. Very nicely done. Abdel been based in Belgium for a majority of his career. Still on the clear of the horse to jump round for just 4 in the St. London Longines Grand Prix. Could be another one to add to the list. They've got room to get to the final fence. And keeps the focus to the last. 78.76 and clear there for Abdul Saeed and Quaker Brimbel Z. So they add to the clear list. And takes us to 7 now to return. Abdul Saeed looking for another good run here in Traverse City. Kristen van der Veen, Bull Runs Jara. The 11-year-old by Eureka for the Bull Run Jumpers. Probably one of the most successful, certainly for a long period, riders here in Traverse City. It's sort of taken a little bit of a step back as she's been rebuilding a string of horses. Just kept winning and winning with Frosty as well. Fabulous Grey that she was highly effective with, but now it's for the next generation of horses to come through. Only 4 for them, but again they can still play for places at the moment. Never usually slow. Heads here after finishing on the podium at the Hampton Classic as well in 3rd there. Touch coming in, but say an effective 4. I think it's going to be too slow. She's also going to drop under the fence there anyway, but she's going a little bit wider there. Maybe going to be the horse she rides in the World Cup, we will see, but just sets them up for the last by giving them a bit of space there. So it's a total of 12 for Kristen van der Veen and Bullrun's Jara. Luis Mina Gonçalves now and Scoop de Septon Z. 11-year-old by Hunter Sandro, the gelding for the rider for Portugal. Based out here in the US now. One of two 60-year-old riders in the field. Wonderful, our sport has no barriers. And a very good producer of horses, several on the circuit you'll see coming through. Luis. Spending time between Ocala, was in California for a good while too. Still clear at the moment. Ah, no, apart from the fence that's just dropped. Just went beyond that line, just off our camera shot there, and just a little tap. Coming home on the 4, and he's going to be maybe just touching into time as well. No, he's just okay, 79.63. 4 for Luis Bino Gonçalves and Scoop de Septon Z into 11th spot as it stands. Karma Godek now. It's down for a base in Virginia, and after some good results in Ocala, the 14-year-old Charissa. Charissa now 14 years of age by Claramo for Karma. That was second in the recent Grand Prix at the Nations Cup at Caledon up in Canada, but it's an early 4 for them. And that's a second. Just gave it a try out of the triple combination, didn't quite come out, and just got a bigger jump into the Oxer afterwards. Just start running into time as well. 12 jumping, and unfortunately takes the last with them as well, so going to be adding some more there. 22 the total there for Karma Godek and Charissa this time. And to Holloway now. Henry Yotta Ariel, the 10-year-old by Piccadilly Tame for the Hayes Investment Corporation. rider from Kansas, who again has also got a good record in the World Cup finals back to 2023, where she was top 3. Pepita Conspita. Actually, it's been lovely to see that horse back out because they won the Welcome Stake last week. They won a 2-star Grand Prix here in August, and then were top 5 in last week's 3-star Grand Prix as well. But this horse has been on the sidelines for a little while, so it's great to see them straight back in there, being as good as ever. Love to see them out here this week and can start to get going again. But Henrietta Ariel, the 10-year-old for Hunter Holloway, is the one she'll take a shot at this time, who's definitely been filling in ably while Pepita has been out of action. And here throughout the summer as well. Finished very well actually in the opening 4-star weeks, top 3 in a Grand Prix as well back in July. Two very good grades that she's got. Ooh, wait, yeah, clears the vertical. Just carries on. Got a big jump in and just bowled on through the second part of the double. Time just under at 79.34, but on the 4 there of Hunter Holloway and Henrietta Ariel. This actually was bred under the Argentinian stud books. That was our previous rider, Karma Godek. Just seeing on the graphic at the moment, but Henrietta completed. Michaela Langmaier now, the 25-year-old. Pepita van Rollebeek. There's Pepitas popping up in places all over this class. For the Rafferty Farm, it is the 10-year-old Belgian-bred mare by Otto Gillot for Michaela. Takes us well through this first round of this Grand Prix qualifier. Just this one of 4 left to go. Okay, they also jumped to the World Cup finals this season, 2025, back in Basel. That was with Mamuza. She's also been jumping here in the last seasons too, but it's here after finishing well at Socrates. Drops the fence going into the triple combination. Just on the 4 so far, but that adds another. Quite a few have added in that double down there. Full Fultist in the money. Charlotte Murray's Charlotte Murray's very good round has kept her in the money as well, in 9th place. Harry Scott fraction faster for the Australian in 8th. Kent Farrington still in the cash seats at the moment in our top 10. Skylar Wireman now, the 20-year-old with Tornado. Now the, again, young Californian who's already competed at the World Cup finals as well. Tornado, 11 years of age, by Diarado, this Swedish-bred horse owned by her and piloted very successfully. It's actually a horse that she rode through young riders, including last year, and now she's the new youth champion here in the US as well, having won the young rider title with Barclino B for individual gold and team gold there. So she rode Tornado the year before. Back in 2024, rode the same horse at the World Cup finals and really shot into the spotlight there as well. Yeah, a pair that were just in the money at the recent Hampton Classic Longines Grand Prix as well. Last was won by Britain's Jessica Mendoza, just casually, unfortunately, into that triple combination, cost them a fence. It'll be very interesting to see how this young rider's career progresses. Been very effective so far. Not afraid to take on the senior riders as well. She's top 10 in the U25 rankings around the world too. That leaves her on the 4, 78-17, just the 4 there for Skylar Wyman and Tornado. Puts them into 8th place at the moment, so they'll come into some money. Erin Ballard coming in the closing stages here with the Canadian Olympian. Part of the Paris Games last year. Fave de Tuy. And the 10-year-old, piloted by this top-class rider, has seen wins in Ocala, a string of top 3 finishes here in Traverse City as well. Still on the clear. Triple combination. Vertical, vertical, Oxer on the way out. A nice bend the line. Get up a little bit of pace. Balance the pace to the next vertical. Very tidily so far. Time is not going to be an issue. And she would be late in the order here. Oh, kicks back. This looks like. Springs it out of the cups. It's just reaching there at the last. Flicks back behind. Puts them into 8th place. 76.06 for there for Erin Ballard. And Faith the Tweet for them. So unfortunately, not a prime spot in the jump off. Will go into the money, but not the fight for the money they wanted. Now, final one in round 1 is Sloane Coles. Sloane with the 12-year-old Ninja JW. The Ninja Group by Elvis Terput. The winning team for Team USA in Canada in the Nations Cup there in Canada in July. really good run through Upperville this season as well. Now has a chance this week to again show some good form. Takes out the front bar, so they're also going to be in the 4. So our boxed set group of 7 will go into the jump off. Gift wrapped and ready to go after the main share of this $117,000 here this afternoon. Comes home on the 4, going to be a little bit over the time there, 80.33, so 5 actually for Sloane Coles and Ninja JW. And so we'll complete the first round. She goes into 15th, so that time fault unfortunately does play a part in putting them out of the money. A few of the 4 faulters in the money, including Erin Ballard, actually, who was the fastest of the 4s. Went into 8th place, as we saw. And then Skylar Wireman and Tornado. But let's talk about the clears. We've got Mario Delorier, Genial de Beneville. They'll go in that same order. Connor Swale, Castellano, McLean Ward, High Star Hero, Roberto Turan, Desu Tov, Daniel Blumenhammer Z, Katie Dynan out of the blue SCF, and Abdul Said Quaker Brimbell Z. So it's a very high quality 7 coming. Our magnificent 7 coming back for the jump off as well. 8th place went to Erin Ballard, 9th to Skylar Wireman Tornado, top 10 for Hilary Scott and Oaks Milky Way. Charlotte Murray, after a lovely round to start us off with just the 4, goes into 11th in the end, and Kent Farrington picks up some dollars there in 12th place for the world #1 with Myla, but he'll be out for the big stuff on Sunday, I am sure. Glorious day here in Traverse City, here in Michigan. Where else would you want to be? The skies up above, as you can see, are just a patchwork of tiny whiffs of cloud up there as well. And so under the wonderful skies up above, glorious heat, and just that right temperature, early 70s as well. We are ready to sit out and enjoy our upcoming jump off in this $117,000 Grand Prix qualifier, part of our Longines World Cup week here in Traverse City. We'll be along for that jump off. Guillaume Georges, our course designer, Olympic course designer, is setting the track. He's got tape measure out, just putting the finishing touches on the course, and we'll be along with that in a moment or two. Getting set for the jump off here for this Grand Prix qualifier, qualifier for the Longines FEI Jumping World Cup this week here in Traverse City. It is the prelude to that big class here on Sunday, and readying for a showdown between our top 7. Those are the 7 you just saw there that we'll see, and it is going to be Mario Delore, Connor Swale, McLean Ward, Roberto Taran, Daniel Blumen, Katie Dinan and Abdel Said. Now, where are they headed? They're starting at fence 13, which was the last fence in the first round. New fence 15 is a vertical added in there, 155 vertical there, going to the, if you like, bank screen side of the arena. If you're familiar with the arena here, it's the opposite side to where you're seeing the tents right now. And it is from there, in fact, it's the fence just to the next side of that Longines fence there. Fence 15, back to fence 6, which is the Longines fence with the clocks on. Over the course designed by Guilherme Jorge of Brazil. Time allowed of 51 seconds. He has 7 obstacles, 8 jumping efforts. Over 315 meters. Guy himself just with the tape there, walking out of the ring. Now, where were we up to? We were up to fence 6. 7B after that, so middle part of what was the triple combination, and C to follow, so that becomes a double this time. Fence 9 after that, so plenty of space down there to the vertical that follows, the golden vertical in the distance there. And from fence 9 back to fence 10, and so good spin back there to that, to the Longines World Cup fence, and from then on it is 12A. So first part of what was the double to complete on the seated side everywhere. You see the Adirondack chairs with the ballet dancer, actually, where Mario Delore is almost headed, just actually took a turn before he was getting over in that direction. And so we are ready to go with Mario Delore, Génial de Benneville as the starting combination, the 9-year-old here for the Canadian to lead the charge. Now off we go with Mario. Good start at the vertical, good turn away. Drifted a little coming back to that Longinoxer. Just bends it nicely through that double. Horse with really operating this afternoon. Lovely jump they've got going. A little bit tighter up to that Longines World Cup fence. There's the last, takes them over the line at 44.98. Mario Delore will start us off. And so Mario Delore sets the pace. 44.98, we will see where that goes. In the end, another 6 left to take a shot at that, but he banks the clear, banks a good spot. Connor Swale. And now with Castellan side, Castelrano for Conor Murray for the Irishman. Could go in any direction, really. This group, there's actually every one of these 7 could find an extra gear yet. So Mario Delore has given them something to think about at 44.98. It's a little bit tighter there, so Mario had a good shot at that. Oof. Just didn't get the control they wanted around there in the end. Obviously that slows them down, but also adds a fence, so Mario's becoming the more effective approach of the two so far. Connor taking a shot at it. .44, 46.86, just on the 4 for Connor Swale and Castorano. Early stages, but he will definitely pick up some prize money because it's a 7 into the jump off. McLean Ward, world number 7. Michael Weddy Smith's High Star Hero. Like I say, winners of equivalent class just a few weeks ago. Great opportunity here for them too. Signature McLean Ward, fast start. He's chasing, he's running, he's so effective at this, but doing it under control. Ugh. Just has to reach a little, flattens into that first part of the double. So Mario Delorier's round again keeps him up there. Just on the 4, 43.43, so it would be a quicker time than Mario, but it is a fence down, so into second so far for McLean Ward and High Star Hero. Gave it a very good shot though. Roberto Taran of Colombia. Desugdoff. He's 17-year-old. This pair is so effective in being generally the double clear machines. Just keep the engine going across the Longines fence, get a good move across that without biting off just that little bit too much. Split time. Yeah, it's just a fraction ahead of that of Mario Delorier so far. Very nicely on the turn. It's going to run close, might just be enough. It's going to be 43.58, just over a second ahead there, Roberto Taran. And Desugdoff going into the lead. Like I say, they're very good at the zeros. And so new leading combination takes over from the little bit less experienced Génial de Benneville for Mario Deloré, his horse 9. The 17-year-old Desugdoff goes into the lead. 11-year-old Hummer Z now. Gelded by Harley for Abigail Wexner, ridden by Daniel Blumen. Door open for Daniel. So Roberto Taran setting the pace now. Again, watch his round, lovely smooth round, but again, if someone was just really attacking it a touch more, I think they could get ahead of that of Roberto, but you've got to go and do it. Seven down to the vertical. It's more about the turn. And he gets a smooth enough turn back to the Longines. Feel this might be just half a beat quicker. We'll get a An accurate shot from Longines timing in just a moment. Yeah, just the tiniest fraction up. .43.58 time to beat. Now he's opening and using the stride up to the last very effectively, and it's going to be nose over the line. Another second faster, 1.35 to be exact. Daniel Blumen now goes into the lead with Hummer Z. Engines purring nicely around the course. Say just a fraction more attacking than that of Roberto, and always open to go and jump through and squeeze ahead as he does. Katie Dinan and the pair that were top 10 eighths at the World Cup finals this year out of the blue SCF. And the first of two left to go, Abdul Saeed to follow this. Neither can be counted out. Daniel Blumen set the standard, but not an unbeatable time. It's going to be hard to get to, but not unbeatable. It's just some of them you see sometimes. Kent Farrington was one in Kentucky this year in the 5-star there, that you watched him in the Grand Prix and just went, how you're going to beat that, I don't know, and nobody did. They just shut the door early on. Good shot from Katie. She's a touch up as well. Don't go too far here. Giving it a really good go, and Daniel Blumen, this is where he was really eating the ground coming up to this final fence. She's going to run close to it. She should be enough. 41.67, Katie Dinan. Out of the blue is certainly not that. She's had a great record with this horse, now leads the way in the qualifier here this afternoon. $117,000 class. Katie Dinan now edges into the lead. 41.67. Lead keeps changing hands like a baton relay. Katie in front. One left to go. One final combination to come. Abdul Saeed and Quaker Brimbell Z. 10-year-old by Quicksilver Saint-Simeon. Heading down the hill any moment as our final one. Katie Dinan, who's got a good record this time of year, especially as well, into the World Cups and the American Gold Cup that takes place here next week as well. Abdel heading out for the American Fall Tour once again. Busy few weeks here of 5 stars in the United States. Lovely to be starting off the North American League of World Cup shows. And Katie making her presence felt already. Hopefully can translate that into Sunday as well. Now Abdul Saeed. Well, number 13, Quaker Brimbell Z. See how much he wants to put the pedal to the metal. Yeah, it's nice up to slice the first. Looks like he took a stride out down there. Covers the ground well, but then drifts a little bit further to that Longines fence, but comes back to it, attacking it across it. Effective so far is a second up. And doing what we said, just being much more attacking of the course. 41.67. He leaves this last up. He's got this. And Abdel Saeed races for the line, 39.77, and he has got it, just under 2 seconds the difference. And so Abdel Saeed will claim the first really big class of the week, $117,000 Grand Prix qualifier, part of this Longines FEI World Cup week, goes in the direction of Belgium. Abdel Said just pushing out Katie Darnan into second in the end, 41.67, effective round from her without the blue SCF. But Quaker Brimbell said by Quicksilver certainly showed their speed. Lightning round there for Abdel Said, and Quaker Brimbell said you already saw from the first that cut up there and just squeeze down that first line and really get going in the groove. Abdel Said in first, it's Katie Darnan in second, Daniel Bloom will take third in the end at Hummerzed. Top four for Roberto Turan, like I said, one of the kings of the double clear there, Daisy Doff. Top five for Mario Delorier, great start from him, really effective round with the 9-year-old Genielle de Berneville, but does the nice round that suits the pair of them. Just asked enough there to finish top five. McLean Ward High Star here unfortunately has the 4. And 7th place to Connor Swale. Of those in the jump off, then the rest of those further down. Presentation coming up tomorrow. We are back, and it is going to be the winning round class that we bring you tomorrow, and also from Traverse City. It's going to be a busy day because lots of equitation coming up, 2 big classes, including $100,000 equitation class as well. Oliver Kennedy will be taking you through that, and then the FEI World Cup team on Sunday as well. So all of that to come over the next few days, and as I say, it's part of 2 massive weeks here as well as part of the Tournament of Champions, which is a 3-week affair, but next week also sees us into the American Gold Cup as well. But Abdel Said produces the best round of the afternoon. Beautiful afternoon here in Traverse City, and we will bask in its loveliness and in the effectiveness of our winner. Well done to Abdel Said. Claims the big class today, $117,000 as part of this 5-star World Cup week. Quaker Brimbell said, leaves the rest quaking in their boots. Well done.
Bringing back our top 3 for today's $117,000 5-star qualifier. Bringing back our top 3. First back in, Belgium's Abdel Said, your winning rider this afternoon with Quaker Brimbell Z. Second place, the USA's Katie Darnan with out of the blue SCF. Third award, it goes to Israel's Daniel Blumen with a Hummer Z. Third place rider coming forward for photos. First, top 20 on the world standings. He finishes third on the double clear effort this afternoon with Abigail Wexner's Hummer Z. Congratulations to Israel's Daniel Blumen, third for today's $117,000 five-star. Second place rider to join us next, our penultimate rider and the jump off round, claiming the lead momentarily with out of the blue SCF, the 11-year-old mare by Verdi and owned by the Grant Rope Partners. We congratulate the USA's Katie Dinan, second this afternoon in the five-star. And your winner, top time at 39.77, earning the blue by almost 2 seconds. And the jump off round for today's five-star $117,000 competition, partnered with the 10-year-old Gelding, owned by AS Trading Quaker Brembel Z. Your winner this afternoon, Belgium's Abdel Said. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise if you are able and remove cover for the national anthem of Belgium in honor of today's five-star winner, Abdel Said. Lap of honor now for our top three riders, being led by number 13 in the world standings. And your winner this afternoon, congratulations to Belgium's Abdel Said, following second in our victory gallop, the USA's Katie Dinan, with out of the blue SCF. Third place honors going to Israel's Daniel Blumen with Hummer Z. Congratulations again to our top three. Third award to Daniel Blumen. Second for the USA's Katie Dinan. Belgium's Abdel Said, your top rider in the afternoon for a five-star $117,000 qualifier. Wraps us up for the day in the Turtle Creek Casino and Hotel International Ring. We'll get underway at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning with the open meter 35s.